Hey guys, welcome this week to the Ryan, don't laugh at me. This is the Unearthed Arcana cast. You got to be serious. Where we cover everything Unearthed Arcana every week, all the time. Yeah,
it's a lot of stuff, man.
Well, we recently made the change, of course. That's all we're doing. I'm Braxton.
I haven't seen the new artwork.
There's no artwork. It's too expensive.
So let me get this straight. We are the Dungeon Crawl.
No, we're the Unearthed Arcana Crawl.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. We're the Unearthed Arcana Crawl with the Dungeon Crawl artwork.
Yeah, things cost money, and
it's gonna be confusing.
Well,
for people.
We're really passionate about Unearthed Arcana, and I'll be honest in saying it doesn't make as much money. So we, of course, gotta just keep doing this until we can change the art.
I don't know. If I'm being honest, Unearthed Arcana, what about when we run out? It'll happen at some point, I would think.
Every time we post an episode, we keep getting another, gift from Jeremy Crawford on the Twitterverse.
Wait, you're telling me there's a new Unearthed Arcana that they posted?
Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you feel about Unearthed Arcana, because obviously we love it being the Unearthed Arcana cast.
Obviously,
but we're gonna probably next episode, even though we're the Unearthed Arcana cast, probably take it back. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. It's my birthday tomorrow. Ryan, let me make one joke. Obviously, it didn't go well, so probably don't get to make any more jokes anymore. But they did release also Fighter Rogue and Wizard subclasses.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them.
Me neither, because I don't want to.
Yeah, I want to get. I'm sick of it, man.
It's fun to do, but we have a duty because we did half of the new. What was this thing?
This was the class features. This is what started it all.
So we stopped.
Really, it's our fault. If we'd done a podcast once every one time this was released, we'd be fine right now. But we started really far behind.
So from now on, whenever they release stuff, are we just gonna screw whatever we're doing that week and just release an episode on it?
No, we do the week after, maybe.
That's slow. Think about time to market, Ryan. But we left off, I believe, with Paladin, which didn't have a lot. But flipping it over, getting straight into it. I don't know if you introduced yourself.
I'm Ryan, yeah.
Yeah, he's Ryan. I'm Braxton.
This is the Dungeon Crawl.
This is the Dungeon Crawl. We were just at a Magic pre-release.
Yeah.
For Theros.
Yeah, Theros Beyond Death. Past Death.
Which I will argue that Xenagos should be here.
Well, here we go.
We won't get into this. So like I love Warlocks, I like red-green. And Xenagos was beautiful. And they didn't bring him back because he's quote-unquote dead. But this set is Beyond Death. Should he not be back?
Well, pick up the book. Maybe he's in the book, man.
Maybe.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Braxton almost died.
I did almost. So...
Not in the game, literally outside
in real life.
Yeah.
I know if you die in the game, you die in real life. But in this situation, I was having, I feel like maybe an asthma attack. I don't have a history of that. But I was on a muggy train in Chicago like a few months ago and had a similar episode. And every time I've come to Denton, I feel like the pollen attacks me even more than it used to.
Like out to get you?
It's out to get me.
That's scary.
And this time, I'm here for 4 days, so we'll see how it goes. So wish me luck. My birthday's tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Birthday clap.
Birthday clap.
Birthday clap. Got to coin that 2 times in a row.
Happening.
But we need to dive straight into this because even though we're more than halfway through, we got the biggest chunky boys in terms of content supplied on this Unearthed Arcana here.
These are some big ones.
They're chunky boys. And
I think Braxton disagrees with me. He thinks the Warlock got the most things. I think Ranger got the most things.
So let's look here. Warlock got 1, 2, 3.5 pages.
Okay, well, if we're talking about page-wise, maybe not, but I don't know how much Ranger got. But my point is
Ranger got 2 pages.
Ranger got the most changes, as in, compared to what's in the player's handbook, it's pretty different. The Warlock's still Warlock.
Quantity over quality.
The Ranger's like it's a whole new ball game in here.
It pretty much is, and I'm still excited to go through it because Ranger is really interesting, and it's kind of got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little sad. Not sad. I'm a little perturbed. And a little happy with these changes.
Really?
Because I really like the. I mean, so a lot of people argue that Ranger doesn't really have an identity right now. That a lot of the classes do what they do better, but what they do,
I see what you're going with,
is the favorite enemy in the Natural Explorer. That's the stuff, and I like, because the only ever times I've really been a player and like got to make a character was when I played in your game for a couple sessions, and I made a Ranger. And I've always loved doing ranger stuff, archery, whatever. And I just love the idea of a ranger studying an enemy for a long time and studying, living in a terrain. And what they've changed here kind of gets rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can understand mechanically why it would. I don't know.
You can still make your background into that. It doesn't have to go away.
Yeah, but then the favorite enemy, we'll get into it. The favorite foe is what it's called now, is very different.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's get this thing going, because I want to get to Warlock. It's like Warlock is so special, they even wasted a sheet of paper by giving a very small paragraph its own entire page.
Oh,
so, before we get there, let's start off with Ranger, obviously. And since you like this so much, let's have you take it away.
So it starts with Deft Explorer, which replaces Natural Explorer, which is basically what I was saying, the favorite terrain. So you can read about it more in the player's handbook, but more or less they have a favorite terrain and the party benefits things from it, they benefit things from it, etc., etc. Here, it says, they're an unsurpassed explorer, yada yada. You choose some of the benefits, and then you get to choose another one at 6th level, another at 10th level. So you kind of get stuff to look forward to, I guess.
Like that they're doing this, though.
Yeah, adding stuff on.
Yeah. Because you see these, like, I can't pick. Like, canny, roving, tireless, and these abilities are good.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
There's one that stands out above the rest, I think, and I can't quite recall because I have to look over them again.
Sure.
In a couple days. But just starting off now, in contrast with what Ryan described for the previous class feature of the Ranger, now you get to pick these. You get one at first level, I believe.
Yeah.
So you can choose from Canny, which allows you to choose one skill: animal handling, athletics, history, insight, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, stealth, or survival. Lots of useful things. Swiss Army knife, you are being a Ranger. You gain proficiency in one of those skills that you choose if you don't already have it. You now add double your proficiency bonus to the skill that you've chosen. Also, thanks to your extensive wandering, you're able to speak, read, and write 2 languages of your choice.
So this is kind of combining favorite enemy and Natural Explorer from the player's handbook into one skill here.
Double proficiency.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend in this feature list.
Which is kind of weird because proficiency means you're really good in it, so now they're just like, you are double good. You are so double
plus good
is the amount. So it's weird, but that's cool.
Yeah,
because your proficiency bonus at this point is 2, right?
Yes.
So you get plus 4 to one of any of those things that I've listed.
Yeah, and imagine if it's perception or insight or stealth even. That's gonna make some early level stuff quite a lot easier.
So I mean, right off the bat, I like that Ranger is becoming the person that specializes in like one thing and does it well. Going forward, though, you've got roving now, which makes your walking speed increase by 5. So if you're a halfling or dwarf or short guy, there you go. You're caught up with everybody. But if you're somebody else that's already fast,
to me, that's always, if I play a Ranger, going to default to my 10th level slot.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you also gain a climbing speed and a swimming speed equal to your walking speed.
But how often do I need that stuff? I'd rather get double proficiency in something else.
Well, let's go to tireless and see if that one's just really terrible.
Yeah.
It's the worst one by far, I think, Ryan.
Sure.
So tireless, as an action, you can give yourself a number of temp hit points. Temporary hit points. Did I say temp? They're temporary hit points. Remember that.
Yeah.
Equal to 1d10 plus your wisdom modifier. You can use this special action a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses upon a long rest. Also, whenever you finish a short rest, your exhaustion level, if any, is decreased by 1. So, whenever you want, as an action, max, if you're playing with 10 ability score or 20 ability score max, you can 5 times get 1d10 plus 5 temp HP.
Yeah, but think about if you're doing that in the middle of combat. That's your whole action.
The action thing's tacked on there. Use this out of combat for sure. It's called tireless, which means, you guys have been walking for a long time and you're just like, you know what?
Kind of a boost to health.
You're just so wise.
Or after combat, you save the cleric, a spell slot, heal somebody else. I'll just give myself some extra hit points here.
Yeah, and you can get a max of 15. So I would say get this one probably first, since the lower level you are, the more a static plus health like this gives you more value. Later on, getting 15 health max back is not
I would
great.
say, obviously, find out in session 0 and tell your DM. If it is a more role-play heavy game, I'd say go with Canny.
Yeah, agreed.
But more combat heavy or mixture of the two, Tylus is definitely your pick.
But Canny definitely grows because your proficiency score increases over time.
Yeah.
So that one has the most value. But Tireless, just instantly you get 15 temp HP. Now maybe somebody in your party already gives people temp HP a lot and this isn't of use to you. So keep those kinds of things in mind. But these are really unique. And you have an option like this at level 1.
A lot of big temp HP spells are higher levels, so at higher levels, Tireless might not be as useful. So yeah, you probably want to get it pretty early on.
Yeah, you'll stop using it later. But of course, again, temporary hit points do not stack. Like I've said every time I've mentioned them, if you have 15 temp HP and somebody gives you another 15 temp HP, you still only have 15. You can choose which of them to keep, because maybe one of them has an effect attached to it. Like I've said it before, I'll save you guys my breath.
Because otherwise you just use Tireless 3 times in a row and get 30 temp HP.
All right. So now that we've gone through that, Ryan, this probably is something you want to talk about a good bit.
Yeah, favorite foe. So again, this is replacing favorite enemy. Just a change of the word, I guess. So you can call in your bond with nature to mark a creature as your favorite enemy, similar to favorite enemy. I mean, they're using the same word even. That's how similar it is. But the difference being they give you the Hunter's Mark spell, and you use your Wisdom modifier for it. You can use it a certain number of times, like spinning a spell slot, which is pretty huge. And without requiring concentration, which I think is probably the most important thing, because then you could use that as well as like some other, like maybe a snare spell to keep them stop from moving, and you can do yada yada. It expends, get it back whenever you finish a long rest, and that's about it.
So what did favored enemy do before?
So you at first level, similar to this one, you would choose a type of enemy. So like aberrations, goblinoids, giants, oozes, monstrosities, whatever, yada yada, a specific type, and then you could either that, or you could select 2 humanoid races. So if you were to choose goblinoid, then you could choose goblinoid and gnolls to kind of make up for, because there's a lot of dragons. But if you just choose humanoids, it's a little too broad. You can't just do that. This then would give you advantage on the wisdom survival checks to track them, as well as intelligence checks to recall like history and information on them. You also gain a language that the creature speaks. So it's much more than high levels. You get to get an additional favorite enemy. So it's basically, it's very much a role play heavy.
And you're stuck with that choice. Though you get another favorite enemy.
Yeah.
This is a bit weaker, more utility is offered, and you can change essentially what your favorite foe is depending on your situation. I do know for you personally, you love making an insane backstory favorite. Like, why would this?
Why is the ooze? I mean, the ooze killed my family. I mean, that's kind of weird, but sure, why not? Go for it.
You can still, by all means, do that. But I definitely see where Ryan's coming from. Of course, you don't have to change. These things are A, playtest material, and B, an option for you. But I do like that this gives you more of a utility. Though the previous Ranger, if you had a DM that wasn't communicative, still great guys and you love playing D&D with them, but they're not communicative, and you picked an enemy that you never encounter, ever, you basically just don't have
if I had a hunter that chose, or ranger, sorry. If I had a ranger that chose a favorite enemy that, wasn't, that didn't specifically say this is what your guys are around, I'd find a way to work it in. Obviously, I don't want them to feel like
you don't think that's a
terrible
player railroading you?
No.
Well, think about it. It kind of is.
No, it's not. So give me a type of thing that you might choose if you're a ranger.
Well, let's give the preface. Say you made a campaign about demons.
Okay.
And they're going to be fighting demons for like the next abyssal stuff for the next 20 levels. But they picked. Can they pick fiends? Is that broad?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not fiends, or something that's just not a demon.
Fae? Giants?
Let's do giants.
Okay. See, in my game, I not thinking about it again, if it was my game, sure, I could work it in. But let's say you're doing Curse of Strahd, or you're doing a module, that has none of that stuff in it, sure, you should communicate that to your player as a DM. But let's say you don't, or whatever reason they don't listen to you and decide to choose it anyway. Then I guess it's kind of on them at that point. But I don't know. I guess that's one of the biggest reasons why they're changing it.
I think that is definitely the reason they change it. I think the Ranger, as it was, is an amazing one-shot class.
Yeah.
Because you can gear them towards it so well. They still lack in certain areas, but for the backstory, damn, are they fun to make.
Yeah, because you could choose, like, if you're doing Curse of Strahd, you could choose Undead and Forest.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go.
But you're on a boat for, like, 5 weeks of IRL time. There are 5 sessions, how often you play, and it's just like...
That seems very specific.
That was actually 100% an accident, and I just realized that we've been doing that.
Yeah,
we're not on a boat right now.
No, we're not on a boat, but we're on a boat for a while.
Despite my character sitting around, that's just how they played it. I enjoyed being on the boat.
Okay.
I got to sink a ship. It was a great time, and I think you did well with it. We even got to talk about things and whatnot. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. But going forward, after dwelling on favorite foe for a bit, we're still in the first level features.
Yeah.
So now we're starting to get to the big guns, second level.
Fighting style.
What? Fighter? Ranger? Who? Huh? Why?
Well, they had fighting styles before.
I like warlocks.
But as you can see, Brax, you look over here at the player's handbook. Those are the 4. They had, similar to paladins, they had very limited amount of fighting styles they could choose from. Archery, defense, dueling, and 2-weapon fighting. That kind of does cover a lot of bases, but let's say you want to do something different, or that seems this is a pretty not specific but generic kind of stuff. This adds a whole bunch of new ones, and we'll get into those later because added it to paladins and fighters as well. I think monks maybe too. I don't remember.
Monks?
Added them monks. Add them to a good chunk of people, and that's at the very end of this document. We'll get down to that later. But this adds those as well as the option of Druidic Warrior, which allows them to learn 2 cantrips. They count as ranger spells. 2 cantrips specifically from the Druid spell list, as Braxton alluded to in the last podcast, is they kind of bled the lines a little bit between Druid and Ranger here, which, I mean, makes sense.
Again, but in line with make something new, like what I mentioned last time in regards to the material that's coming out. And now they've prefaced that this is kind of an extra thing. It's coming out. It's not taking any resources from whatever the hell Wizards of the Coast is working on right now with all of this. But I get it. Druid and Ranger, it makes a lot of sense, but why not make something new? Rather than just saying, okay, here's some Druid cantrips you can have.
Well,
be happy.
Maybe they're working on new spells. Who knows? I don't know.
Just playing devil's advocate.
Okay, all right.
Just doing that.
Yeah.
I actually did like this, though. Cantrips can feel lame, but Druid ones I feel have a lot of uses often.
Yeah. And I think they fit the thematic of the Ranger. And Rangers don't get many spells already, so...
Well, speaking of that...
It's nice to add some more stuff.
And I just want to skip to 3rd level, Revivify.
Yeah, adding it to a Ranger.
I feel like they just gave everybody Revivify.
It does feel odd to give Revivify to a Ranger.
Don't worry, Sorcerer didn't get Revivify.
Well, to me, Ranger isn't supposed to be, unless you build in that direction, but isn't really a spell heavy class. I mean, just for example, they hardly have any spell slots. They can't cast Revivify until 9th level.
Well, let's look at these. These are mostly utility spells. Entangle, Searing Smite, Aid.
I have no idea why they didn't have Entangle before. That just screams to me.
Enhance Ability, Warding Bond, Blinding Smite, interesting. Meld into Stone, that makes a lot of sense. Revivify, weird, but they kind of can be an off support class in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Death Word?
You skip Tongues. Tongues make sense to me too.
It does, but Death Word?
Yeah. I could kind of see that.
Mm-hmm.
Using the nature to protect your friend. I don't know.
I just realized I've been saying Death Word because it looks like word. It's Death Ward.
It's supposed to protect him from death. It's not like a word
of death. It now makes
death.
sense. I thought this was Death Word.
It's not like Finger
level.
of Death or something. No.
Dominate Beast, which makes
Definitely
a lot of
makes sense.
Awaken, I don't know what that does, but... Oh, he's pulling out the
Let's
Google
find out.
machine. And then even after that, I got Greater Restoration, which, I mean, cool. Yeah, they're kind of an off support, and Ranger in a lot of classes, like think about Final Fantasy 14, the MMO that I've been playing a bit. Ryan's played it as well. You've got the Archer, I think, or Ranger. I'm not sure which it is. It starts out, but it goes to Bard after, which is support. So that's cool.
This makes sense for them.
What is it?
You basically you can touch you do have to spend 1,000 GP, but you can touch a huge or smaller beast or plant, and it must have an intelligence score of 3 or less, or no intelligence score. And then with the spell, the target gains an intelligence of 10, gains the ability to speak a language that you know, etc., etc. You get the idea.
Now,
it awakens them.
Now let me give you a pitch here, just real quick.
Okay.
You heard about this before. What's the best target for the awaken spell?
A
Stop your thought right there.
tree.
A duck. Do you remember yesterday?
No.
Well, we played Commander for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Kenneth's lovely girlfriend, Jamie,
Yeah.
said that she has 2 ideas for characters. One would be an Aarakocra, that is a humanoid goose
Okay.
barbarian.
Yeah, I'm following.
They're very territorial. The goose game, think about that. That'd be hilarious.
I never played the goose game.
I haven't either, but it's a meme. You don't know
is it?
memes, but yeah. Her other one was a duck that's been awakened.
Yeah, so that's where
An actual small duck. Wizard. Small wizard hat. Just keep it in your palm. Shoots
cute.
fireball. Kills people.
Oh, I don't know if I want a duck that kills people.
I don't know. I think the honk would be hilarious.
See, I don't get that meme.
What?
The honk?
They honk. It's cute.
Yeah, but how did it get started?
It was probably a thing before the goose game, but the goose game came out and
That's
it just
where it
honks
came
all the time.
from?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, it drove me nuts. You don't watch GDQ really at all. Game's done quick. For some reason, honk was the meme of choice this year. And always GDQ has some stupid meme that they just love to shout
It's Twitch.
over and over and over again.
Ryan doesn't like memes, guys.
Nah, I'm all right with some memes, but I don't know.
Ryan doesn't like maymays. He doesn't like honks. He doesn't like geese.
Doesn't make sense, though.
If you were listening to this podcast because you liked me and Ryan, I wouldn't judge if you left now because Ryan does not like geese or ducks.
What's with the honk? I don't get it.
You didn't feel the inspiring energy. You just yelled honk right now. I feel genuinely invigorated. It's got a restoring.
Let's get out of here. Let's move on.
Enough sidetracking. Let's put that off to the end here because we're still at second level features for Rangers, which we've talked about this already. They get spell versatility.
A lot of things get replaced.
Yeah. So this is enhancing their spellcasting. Of course, now you can, upon finishing a long rest, change one spell that you've learned.
Yeah, what we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm. So you now can have a spellcasting focus as well. You can use a druidic focus.
What?
So just see chapter 5 in the player's handbook and look under equipment to see what those could be.
It's basically just, I guess, allows them to not need materials for stuff. I'm not entirely sure what's necessary about this. I think it would be more important for people that, I care about materials in some sense, but I'm not like a huge stickler on.
I only couldn't cast a spell for
Well, that's
very specific.
If there's a price involved, that has to be taken care of. But but something like if you just need I guess you need, I don't know. A lot of things with the focus and stuff, I don't know. I'm usually more lenient on focuses.
Yeah, it can be weird. A lot of people really enjoy tracking weight and making sure everything's very realistic. Sometimes people that put mods into Skyrim and make it hell to play.
I've done that before, yeah.
Did you enjoy it, though?
I stopped playing, so probably not.
Probably not. But Skyrim's not the game that you play forever, so you got to stop playing it at some point. Though, at level 3 is when people and classes start really coming into their own. Mm-hmm. So Primal Awareness, Ryan, it's replacing Primeval Awareness. What is this?
Primeval Awareness was basically their ability to focus on the area around them, and you can expend a spell slot, and depending on what spell slot that you expend, you can sense things within a mile radius, up to 6. If you're in your favorite terrain, it's 6, up to 5 if you're not. And you can tell if there's aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. You don't know where they are. You just know they're somewhere within a mile of you.
Yeah.
That's what Primeval Awareness was. So you could, walking, let's say you're near somebody and you're like, is this person an undead? You could check. Well, I guess you wouldn't know if that's them, but if there's no one within a mile's radius, then it's probably them.
So they changed this a lot.
Yes, they did.
All right.
So primal awareness is what they replaced it with. And I definitely think I like this better.
Yes.
You can focus your awareness through the yada yada, flavor. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in the class. You don't already know them. And they're down there in the little table. You get them at 3rd, 5th, 9th, 13th, and 7th level.
17th.
That's what I meant. Yeah, 17th. These spells don't count against the number of ranger spells you know. So you basically just kind of add them.
You just
to your
get
list.
these spells.
Yeah. And the most important aspect of them, you can cast these spells once without expending a spell slot. And then once you finish a long rest, then you can be able to do it again.
So let me
You get free spells.
let me tell you how many spells you get that you can now just cast
For free.
for free. This this amazes me. Like, if this was a card in Magic, I'd be like.
But this is giving the ranger a little more of their own.
So to think about it,
Yeah.
it's in a sense the same ability. You just now can do this through means of these location
Spells.
/ utility spells.
Yes.
So these are basically your skills now. You can detect magic, speak with animals. You can use beast sense, locate animals or plants, speak with plants, locate creature, commune with nature. And obviously down that list, it gets higher level. But that's a lot of spells that you can now just cast. Pretty cool.
It's very, very, very nice.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So, though...
They're not going to break anything. They're purely utility,
No.
finding stuff. It's perfect.
And now, like for Warlocks, you have to really decide whether you want to make this a utility spell slot to use right now in this moment, or if you want to save it for combat. It's a big choice. For this, you're just like, I can just cast these things?
Yeah, you can say, hey, hold on, Warlock. Let me find it.
Done. But that's really cool. And
Again, this gives them more of an identity, too.
It
It's
really does,
allows them to do stuff that other people can't do.
Mm-hmm. But we skipped to 10th level now.
Bum-ba-dum.
Hide in plain sight was a really weird feature that was
Yes.
not super useful, and it required a lot of awkward preparation. Ryan, what is it?
It basically would allow you to spend a minute to create camouflage for yourself. That's about it.
Cool. Great. No, fade away. You can now use a bonus action to magically become invisible along with any equipment you are wearing or carrying until the start of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So now you can just become magically invisible.
Which is arguably better than camouflaging.
They went, what is the core of this feature?
Yeah, what are we trying to do? How do we
And
make it
can
better?
simplify it.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that a ranger can just go invisible.
It's kind of weird. They could have changed the flavor a bit.
Yeah, you could maybe have you meld into the environment or
Yes.
something.
There's a lot of options here, but I think they were trying to just make it simple and went to the extreme, and now they're seeing what people say about it.
Like if there was still favorite terrain, then you could say you go invisible in your favorite terrain or something. But then that would make them feel useless when it's not their favorite terrain, especially at 10th level. Like, oh, I get this new. Oh, we're underground, and my favorite terrain's the forest. Okay.
Also, now imagine you probably have a couple party members with you that maybe already have invisibility, and maybe at 10th level are already high enough to be able to cast it a couple times. This, though, is a bonus action, and you can just do it. So it's really just like a panic button, like a chameleon. But I think they could have changed the flavor to anything involving you being able to figure out how to hide depending on the environment.
Yeah. It almost stepped on the toes of a rogue a little bit, because rangers have really good stealth, usually. And so just go invisible and start stealthing around.
Mm-hmm.
Screw you, rogue.
That's cool. I think it's definitely much better than the previous thing. It's like, hang on, guys. Let me make my ghillie suit for an entire minute here. Slow everything down so that I can then hide and ambush
I take
things.
back my statement.
What?
It's only until the start of your next turn. It's 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so never mind.
So it's not that good.
No. I mean, it's cool.
Maybe
But
somebody's coming up to you and you're really just in a really good perch right now and you can pop invisible.
yeah, or someone turns to look where you are, you're like, oh God.
With the ability
disappear.
you got before, you now have 35 movement and you can dash far away. So it's a really great panic button.
And I guess the wording, something like magic or something, the wording to specifically say magically become invisible would stop someone, that, I mean, they still can see if you have truth sight, but if you said something along the lines of like, hid yourself perfectly or something, then I guess I could see arguments kind of saying, well, I'm hiding behind stuff. I'm not magical. I'm not invisible. So true sight, would see me, but I'm not invisible. I'm hiding perfectly. So they shouldn't be able to see me.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they went with that.
This is probably the smallest ability in this entire thing. And yet we're talking about it a lot.
Well, it's important.
It is important.
Invisibility is a scary thing for 6 seconds. Not so much though.
But you want to follow me back to 3rd level?
I'd be happy to.
What do you think about Ranger companion options?
So yeah, this is talking about specifically the Beastmaster.
Mm-hmm.
And Beastmaster has been usually the Ranger class that is brought up the most, saying that you can't really you can't really do much with the Beastmaster. You can, but you can't. It's cool, you get a bear or some animal, but a lot of people just get them because they like animals.
Well, how about instead of a bear, you get a beast of the air?
Well, it could still be. Well, the beast of the air can't be a bear, but the beast of the earth could be a bear.
Mm-hmm. What are we talking about, though?
Yeah, so this basically what we're talking about. This reworks the entirety of the Beastmaster. I mean, it says enhances, but it's more or less a completely redoing of Beastmaster.
Yeah, they even have like 3 or 4 paragraphs describing what this is, and essentially, you now, because you've wandered the wilds for a while, you at some point had a chance encounter with a lot of animals, and you have been able to gain companionship with a spirit.
Well, it's interesting the way it works too, because it says the friendship can arise by successful use of animal handling or animal friendship. So I guess you have to find a beast that you just want to take. The Beastmaster already kind of does this, but specifically it has to be with animal friendship. I'd be kind of sad if the only way you can get a companion is by the use of a spell.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. Come on, dude. Use your animal handling abilities first, dude.
Yeah. So DMs for you, if you have a player that's going to use this, make sure when they are about to reach 3rd level,
talk to them
and
figure
either
out what animal they want.
set up an encounter for them, find it out so you can have a fun little interaction for them. And then going forward from this, it does have to be a challenge rating 1/4 or lower, maybe even as determined by the DM. So it does say that. The
biggest change though is it's not the stat block of a bear or a wolf or whatever other beast that you previously thought about for Ranger Companion and the Beastmaster. This has specific stat block for your companion, whether it's a beast of the air or a beast of the earth.
So Beast of the Air, AC 13 is a more dexterity focused. Also, Constitution doesn't seem to be huge, but it's got a -2 Strength, +3 Dex, +1 Con, -1 Intelligence, +2 Wisdom, and 0 Charisma. They have advantage or an additional +5 on saving throws for Dexterity, Constitution, and Wisdom, 5, 3, and 4 respectively. Of course, they perceive better, or huge bonus to that, and they are more stealthy. Air, of course. They have dark vision, 60 feet, passive perception of 14, so that's pretty high, actually. Understands your languages, has this ability known as Flyby, doesn't provoke opportunity attacks at all when it flies out of an enemy's reach, has Primal Rebirth, so if it's died within the last hour, you can use your action to touch it, use a spell slot, 1st level or higher.
To me,
back to life.
That's one of the biggest changes because... let's say, I think the majority of people that get into the Beastmaster, people that just love animals, they're like, hey, I want to have an animal around me in D&D, that'd be fun. Previously, if your animal dies, that's it.
Yep.
That beast is dead and gone. You have to go find a new one and spend 8 hours with this beast. Sure, it could...
Ryan kills your owl.
That's a fate. That's different. So, sure can be some nice roleplay moments. Because I think death can be a nice catalyst for things.
Where are we going?
Sorry.
Ryan, what's in this punch?
But you'd have to put then the entire game on pause, the entire quest on pause to go find another beast for 8 hours.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of a dungeon, that's it. Your Beastmaster abilities are useless for the rest of this quest. So I do like this change.
Yes, it's really nice. And then, of course, you also can use a bonus action of yours to command the beast to make its shred attack or hide. So does this mean this thing does not attack unless you force it to do so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
It has a different initiative, I believe.
Okay. Well, shred attack for context has +5 to hit, 5 reach, 1 target, 1d6 +3. So it does not scale.
No, it does take its turn on your initiative.
Okay. So the Beastmaster, does it improve upon the beasts as you level up?
Yes.
Okay, so even though the stat block is very static and doesn't improve.
So like it gets an extra attack, and it also can cast spells through it at 15th level.
Maybe don't pick this subclass.
But you don't like it?
Not really.
I think it's kind of cool.
It's cool, but is it fun and useful?
If you like animals, yes.
Okay. Maybe pick Warlock. Back to the chain.
I mean, it's like having a familiar, but better.
Yeah. But is it worth like risking the other options you could have?
You'd have to compare them.
That's true.
I like this. If I were to make a ranger, I've thought about continuing down, like doing a Beastmaster. I might have done it for the game that you were DMing, but I'm not positive. I don't know. It's a cool option, but I think Hunter's very nice as well.
So, I mean, we're almost to the end here. You also could have the Beast of the Earth. Obviously, it's got more strength. Really, you can look at the stat blocks I've posted on our Twitter at the Dungeon Crawl Pod, or at no, scratch that.
Take off the V.
Erase your brain. Imagine Men in Black come and they flash the thing in front of you. It's
okay.
At Dungeon Crawl Pod. So I posted the resources for this. But the differences are the stats, more strength focused. And it has charge rather than that flyby ability, which makes it move 20 feet in a straight line towards a target. If it hits it with a maul attack on the same turn. Oh, no, and it does hit with a maul attack on the same turn. DC is your spell save DC. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
It's knocked prone unless the target succeeds on a strength save.
It also gives you a little bit more leeway with what type of beast, because the other one, you have to go out and find the beast. So you'd have to find out the exact beast that you want to. Or here, you can just, I guess you still have to kind of do that too, but it's not as difficult, I think.
Yeah. So that's the Ranger. Those were the changes.
I like it.
You do?
Yeah.
No. Do you feel? Yeah, it's playtest material. What would you change here? How would you tweak it? What would you do?
I think I'd still try to tweak the Beastmaster a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It definitely gave it more of a identity, which I think is what the Ranger needed.
Okay.
Maybe some more work on it, but it's definitely in the right direction.
So I guess kind of moving from there, I mean, I feel pretty much the same way about it. I like Rangers a lot. I've played them a good bit in video games, and I do find that I really enjoy them. So I'm hoping that they keep improving onto this. But skipping forward, going to the Sorcerer.
Nope. I think you missed one there, pal.
What are you talking about?
There's a rogue feature.
Yeah?
Yeah, you see it's the small little one at the top right of that page.
Okay, so what is this?
So it just adds an extra cunning action for your cunning action, which allows you to aim. So instead of
do that before.
Well, yeah, instead of dodging or dashing with your bonus action, cunning action, then you can carefully aim for your next attack, and it just gives you advantage on the next attack roll. And you can only use this if you haven't moved. So it's basically like you have to do it the start of your turn, take your aim, close one eye, and then toss whatever you're attacking it with.
So it's forced advantage.
Yeah.
On a ranged attack.
Yes.
No, just your next attack.
Yeah, just an attack that'll be ranged.
I mean, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I haven't done many rogue things, but I know they can be kind of broken or fun.
Yeah, and after you do it, you can't move. So you have to make sure you're in a good spot.
Second, okay. All right. Can we move past that? Because I don't really care about it. Just being honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a little harsh, but
he hates rogues.
I don't hate rogues.
I think
they're cool.
Prefers warlocks.
I think you could have a really cool warlock rogue multi-class.
Yeah, you could do a rogue arcane trickster.
That could be cool.
With a warlock.
Cool.
Yeah, I like arcane trickster.
I do too. I don't know how to design them though.
I mean, just have fun with it, man. That's, you know what, guys, if anyone's out there listening to this podcast, that's what you should take from all of our things, is just Have
Play
fun with it.
warlocks.
Nope, just have fun with it.
Well,
Sorcerer.
yeah. I mean, most of this is adding a couple of spells for pretty much each level that we go into. And I mean, they're mostly damaging spells, which makes a lot of sense. But notable things are protection from good and evil, primal savagery as a cantrip as well, which is interesting. But mostly some utilitarian spells, things that give you more defense, like Fire Shield or Flesh Stone.
Foresight there at 9th level.
Demiplane as well. And that's pretty much all of those there.
And spell versatility again.
Nice,
allows them to change their stuff per long rest. Cool.
Font of Magic options. So now you have a bit more of an option for where your Font of Magic comes from. So it enhances it, of course. So you now can have Empowering Reserves, which when you make an ability check on your turn, you can spend 2 sorcery points to gain advantage on the check. So that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's just giving you more uses for sorcery points for all these.
So Imbuing Touch, running through it quickly. You can touch one non-magical weapon and make it magic for 2 sorcery points for 1 minute. That's insane for early level.
Yeah, well, it just makes them not as kind of squishy.
Yeah.
You can attack something close range if something is, immune to a multitude of things.
Yeah, so this gives you a lot more use. And then you've got Sorcerer's Fortitude. So now you can spend any number of sorcery points to roll a d4 for each point expended. You gain temporary hit points equal to the number you rolled.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Also, for Imbuing Touch, it also doesn't have to be, you could buff up your buddy's weapon, and if you're fighting something that's immune to or resistant to non-magical weapons, boom, now your weapon can get through their defenses.
Or maybe you have a magical weapon, but it's blunt, and they're weak to bludgeoning or blunt or whatever. To slashing. A lot of tools there, and then moving forward, this is kind of a smaller alteration as well. You get meta magic options, which enhances it. So now when you get to choose meta magic options, you can pick between elemental spell or seeking spell. Pretty straightforward. Elemental spell lets you use a sorcery point to change the damage type. That's kind of crazy.
It's very big.
Seeking spell requires you to make a spell attack roll or forces the target to make a dexterity saving throw. You can spend 1 sorcery point to ignore that effect of the kind of half things that come about based off of those fails. So it's cool. And it also ignores 3/4 cover against targets of the spell.
Not bad.
Nice. Counterspell still sucks whenever that happens to you, but this makes it to where you can cast more spells.
I think we should have an episode on Counterspell, because I got some things to say about Counterspell. Maybe we could just have one about, problematic spells.
We should do that. Counterspell is present in everything. It's bad game design, I think.
Yeah, well, my quick stance on Counterspell is, as a DM, only use it if your players use it. Don't just whip it out on them, because that's kind of an asshole move.
Yeah. Because they're not expecting it.
No.
Of course, it's in the game, and a lot of people will say, hey, Ryan, it's in the game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a master wizard would want to have it. We can definitely talk about it. But final thing here for the meta magic is Unearthing Spell. If you make an attack roll for a spell and miss, you can use 2 sorcery points to re-roll the attack. You then must use the result of the second roll. So if you roll a nat 1, maybe that sucks, but you have to go with it. You can also use it even if you have already used a different meta magic option during the casting of the spell.
You get 2 of these when you hit level 3. So you can choose from these or the ones that are in the player's handbook.
Yes. So it enhances it so you can choose from these and the ones from the player's handbook.
Yeah, I like some of these. I think the ones in the player's handbook are already very good. I mean, for example, in our game, there's a certain player, sorcerer, that uses Twin Spell quite a bit. Twin spells is very powerful. And I think that's kind of just one you should always grab as a sorcerer.
That's very cool. But we've now finished Sorcerer.
Yeah, you actually, I think I have a few more things to say about these meta magic options.
You know who else also gets meta magic options?
Who?
Oh, I was going to say Warlock does, but they don't.
No, they get Eldritch Invocation.
I did not even realize that Wizard was after Warlock.
Yeah, I know. You kept saying it's the last one. Like, no, it's not, man.
I'm sad. What do you want to say about meta magic?
I didn't. I was trying to prolong it.
He's rude and kills my owl. So hey,
Warlock.
We've made it. Welcome to the world of fun.
Oh my god, I'll be back in like 10 minutes, guys.
So guys, he's actually moved his mic away and turned his volume down. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. So
this is Braxton's section.
I will be talking for probably a little bit, even though I probably shouldn't have taken Sorcerer. So Warlock now has access to spell versatility. Hey, how cool is that? We only get 2 spell slots, but now we can change them per long rest. So you can replace anything that you've learned from this pack
Cool.
magic feature
That's
or
nice.
from another Warlock spell. Cool, awesome. Notable spells, I could go through all of these, but some of them are just wonky damage things or like
Yeah.
knock. That's cool. I think knock, life transference.
I'm actually
is
not a big
interesting.
fan of knock.
Really? Well, it unlocks anything but makes a loud ass noise that people can
Yeah, I
hear.
think it's a weird spell.
But like you're a warlock, you're not a sneaky guy, and you want to get in. There's a cool thing behind that door, and you're like, maybe it's involved with
Yeah,
my
I
patron.
guess. Yeah.
Bam! Open the door. I'm in there. Hey, this is my thing. I don't care about consequences. You know, Carrion would
That's
use
true.
that spell.
Who's
all the fucking
Carrion?
time.
That's Braxton's
That's my
character.
character. Animate Dead's interesting. Warlocks can be kind of necromancy involved.
Oh, definitely.
Life transference, mislead's cool. Modify memory, bruh. Psionic stuff. Planar binding, teleportation circle.
I love teleportation circle, giving it to them.
Oh yeah. Project images, interesting. Magic jar.
I mean, create homunculus definitely fits for warlocks in
Yeah.
a ton of ways. They can make their own thrall and stuff.
Like if you're making a necromancer or kind of an evil character, they just gave you a ton of spells.
Make your own cultist for your god.
I think modify memory is like the coolest thing that they gave us.
Modify memory is very cool.
Abidalzim's horrid wilting.
What'd you call me?
Abidalzim's horrid wilting.
Oh my
I think that just sucks life energy around a lot of things,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Then you get at 9th level 3 options: Gape, Shape Change, and Weird. And I think the biggest point here is that your spell slots stop at 5th level. Can you tell I play a lot of warlocks? So for 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th level, I think 9th as well, you get Mystic Arcanum, which allows you to pick certain spells you can cast a certain amount of time. So
Yeah.
it kind of extends your spell slots, but this gives you more options for what spells are kind of your specialty. It's cool. What are
You
looking
only
at?
cast at the 4th level, I believe.
4th level?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that extends to 5th level. No, spell level.
Doesn't it say 4th?
5th. Are you
Oh,
blind?
I was looking at spell slots.
Yeah,
Sorry.
at 10th level warlocks get 5th level spells.
Correct. I was reading the wrong column.
Yeah, it's okay. But they give us a lot of really cool spells. Like I say, us. I'm a part of a collective here. You get more Eldritch Invocations, which this just basically is for improving Tome Warlock, which...
Wait, hold on. I sorry, I got distracted. Gate. I think gate for a warlock is just, I don't know why they didn't have it before. That's a warlock thing.
Bring me to the plane of my...
Yeah, hopping into the Shadowfell, hopping into the void, the void's not really hopping into the far realm. So that'd be more specific for D&D.
I think the spells that were given to the Warlock were the coolest out of everybody. Like a lot of these were just like, why?
Well, he's also biased.
I am not biased at all. Zero bias here.
Sure.
Going into invocations, you get a good
Which is basically
bit of these.
the thing that they got.
Yes. So invocations are things you can pick at certain levels. You know, you get at 2nd level, you can have 2 of them. All the way up to 20th, you can have up to 8. So these are like plug and play.
Now,
features
first,
you can
I think
pick.
before we can talk about the invocations, we're going to skip a little farther down because there's a new pact that's mentioned in these invocations that
Sure.
is
So let's go into it. This pact is very
It
dumb.
mentions later, which I think doesn't make any sense. It should have been brought up first.
This pact is dumb. So your pact boon option
Pact
is
of the
now
Talisman.
Pact of the Talisman. Your patron gives you a special amulet.
Ew.
A talisman that can aid you or anyone else who wears it when they need is great. When the wearer makes an ability check with a skill in which they lack proficiency, they can add a d4 to the roll.
Cool.
Cool. So first off, why am I giving my talisman, my pact thing, to somebody else?
Because you're trying to influence them to follow your patron.
Okay, that works. So if you lose a talisman, of course, you can bring it back, just like the book. Talisman turns to ash when you die.
The reason why I think this exists is to give a warlock the option to be kind of a team player. Give them spells to help other companions, their friends. I think the issue with doing that for classes, as we've noticed in some of the more subclasses that get added and the more things for different classes, they're almost all losing identity and they can all do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a good move. Granted, this doesn't do everything, but it's kind of moving that way of allowing them to be healers, allowing them to be buffers and stuff along that line. I don't know.
Disregard the talisman because what they added for the book is even more supporting.
Braxton, what pact are you in your D&D game?
Pact of the Blade.
Yeah, but which one?
I started with Tome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his favorite one, but he hates the invocations and stuff for it. But do you remember what you sent me whenever this came out?
We talked about it last time.
Yeah.
They made Tome Lock good.
Yep, they made Tome Lock good.
So, starting off as Pact of the Talisman, you have to be 12th level to use this. So, are there any other talisman things here? There's some.
Yeah.
They're all kind of high level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when someone else is wearing your talisman, you can use your action to teleport to an unoccupied space closest to them, provided the two of you are on the same plane of existence. The wearer of your talisman can do the same to you. So this is cool if you're making a character like a pair. Oh. Sorry, I'm thinking about my own character. So, I mean, it could be cool, but you might want to make your character a fighter for using this. So, going down, Chain Master's Fury, 9th level, as a bonus action, you can command your familiar to make one attack.
For Pact of the Chain?
Why was this not a thing before?
I don't know. I don't know.
Eldritch Armor, this is cool.
This
Pact
is
of
cool.
the Blade feature. Guess who would love to pick this up, but I would have to... No, this is an enhancement. I could pick this if Ryan deems this okay, which I think we've established that is not yet. As an action,
I do remember this one, yeah.
You can touch a suit of armor that is not being worn or carried by anyone and instantly don it, provided you aren't wearing armor already. You are now proficient with this suit of armor.
This one I find really weird.
It's very weird. I think they thought warlocks were too squishy.
Yeah, but this means they can wear anything.
Armor.
And I don't know if that's the right move. Giving them endless options.
I don't care. I think it's fun.
No, it's fun. But is it right? I don't know.
I do think it's kind of like, Then again, think that invocations are kind of your features as a warlock.
I'd be more okay with it if it wasn't an action. It was a time. Because then you could because technically you could walk into a shop. Yeah. Because
I'll take this.
I'd be more okay with if you kill somebody and then...
Imagine this. Walk into a shop.
Armor.
Shopkeeper, how much is that armor?
2,000 gold, sir.
That's too expensive. If I can instantly put this on...
Magically enhanced.
I'm of a magic type as well.
Well, that's why it's 2,000 gold.
Are you amazed by magic at all?
No, I'm a magician myself.
Okay, well, can you instantly don armor?
That's preposterous.
Well, if you cut off 500 gold from this, I will show you it is possible.
No, I can't do
Touch.
that.
Wow. Now I get it for
you get to walk
1,500
off.
gold. Wow. And then I just leave.
Yeah.
You can't kill me now because I got this magic armor that says you can't die.
Yeah.
Sorry, we stuck on that for a while. Eldritch Mind.
That's a big
Pact
one.
of the Tome feature. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws that make you maintain your concentration on a spell. Bruh. Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, you're already pretty good in your concentration checks.
But Ryan. Dude, it doesn't make any sense with the name. It does, but it doesn't. But it's like,
well, it's like your mind's more focused or less focused.
That is amazing. I love that a lot.
Yeah.
Far Scribe, Tome feature.
I'm pretty sure there's a... Sorry, he's already getting excited moving on. I'm pretty sure there's a similar feat that is like that.
There is.
Yeah, isn't it like Warcaster or something?
Maybe. Far Scribe, 5th level, Tome feature. A new page. So you've got a whole of one page in your book.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the only page they've actually explicitly said is in your book. Great, huh? Okay, so new page appears in your Book of Shadows with your permission.
Cool.
A creature can use its action to write its name on the page. No, I'm just kidding. It's the opposite of that. You can contain a number of names equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. So you can cast the sending spell, targeting a creature whose name is on this page without using a spell slot, without material components.
Yeah, like that.
To do so, you must write the message to them on the page. The target hears the message in their mind and responds, gets written on the page for you to read. This appears after 1 minute, and as an action, you can magically erase a name on the page by touching it with the name on it. What?
It's very cool.
How cool is that?
It's like Tom Riddle.
That's so cool. My goodness. Another one? Pact of the Tome feature? What? Level 9? A new page appears in your book. We got 2 pages in our book now, guys.
Let me just say how sad it would be. Like, man, I really want to check out this new talisman pact. You only have 2 options.
The talisman is now the dumb thing.
You have 2 options. Why did they even make it?
I don't know.
Why add it in? Why not just add it to some of the other packs?
They needed another last place guy because now the tome is cool.
I guess.
So at level 9, Pact of the Tome feature, you can pick this up as an invocation. A new page appears in your Book of Shadows. With your permission, a creature can use its action to write its name on that page, very similar, which can contain a number of blah, 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 charisma modifier, minimum of 1. When any creature whose name is on the page is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, the creature magically drops to 1 hit point instead. Once this magic is triggered, no creature can benefit from it until you finish a long rest. As an action, you can erase the name.
It's like Death Ward.
It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense, but I'm cool. It's awesome. So basically, you write your party member's name in this, and the first person to get down to 0 HP wants to instantly back up to 1.
Yeah.
Tome Lock is good now.
Yeah, I think that sounds cool.
But can a Warlock spec enough into support for this to really make sense?
Well, what other invocations would you want at this level?
Probably not those.
Oh. I mean, I think it would depend on your party makeup. Like, let's say you don't have a cleric or somebody. This might come in a little more handy.
Yes. So cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Now, this is in addition to your tome feature of you don't need to sleep. And I don't even remember what the other one was. That's how dumb it is.
What do you mean?
What are the other tome invocations?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I know one you don't have to sleep.
There's one you can like... No, that's just what it does. I don't know. I mean, we can look at it real quick if you want.
It's not needing to sleep in more languages?
There's definitely more languages ones. That would make sense.
Book of Ancient Secrets.
Yeah. That's one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's one with rituals, right?
That's just a feature that it has.
Oh, really?
That is what the book does. You get 3 cantrips and can inscribe feature. No, actually, I think you might be right.
I think that's correct. I don't know, man.
I don't know. But I love that they gave more options for this.
Yeah.
Because this isn't explicitly adding things to the Warlock. You can choose to pick this. There's still more, though. Investment of the Chainmaster. Any level. You can cast Find Familiar. When you cast Find Familiar, you infuse the summoned familiar with a measure of your Eldritch power, granting it the following benefits. Gains either a flying speed or swimming speed of my choice of 40 feet. The familiar no longer needs to breathe. The familiar's weapon attacks are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity. If the familiar forces a creature to make a saving throw, it uses your spell DC. Pax of Talisman now gets something
there's no level requirement on that. That just you can get that the second you can get an invocation.
They basically
pop
said
it on.
Your familiar is kind of weak. And you know what I realized?
Yeah.
I basically play all forms of Warlock in one. Or at least I want to. Because I had
Yeah,
familiars.
you did have familiars.
I have the book, but it's weird. But now I'm XSplit. Yeah, I do that. Talisman.
And normally you can't switch invocations, but Braxton had a talk about it. So I wanted to make sure he was happy.
Book is dumb. Still wouldn't take it over this, but it's cool. When the wearer of your talisman makes a saving throw, this is at 9th level invocation, in which they lack proficiency in, they add a d4 to the roll. Isn't that already... Hold on.
What?
Saving throw.
Yeah.
The tome. Doesn't it already do that? When the wearer makes an ability check with a skill they lack proficiency, they can add a d4 to the roll. That is the Pact of the Talisman.
Yeah.
That's what you get. This invocation is... And tell me if this is a different wording, because I'm missing something. Find the difference here. When the wearer of your talisman makes a saving throw in which they lack proficiency, they can add a d4 to the roll. Skill versus saving
ability
throw.
check versus saving throw. Yeah.
Okay. Rebuke of the Talisman, your final option for this.
Those are our thoughts on that.
When the wearer of the talisman is hit by an attacker you can see within 30 feet of you, you can use your reaction to deal psychic damage to the attacker equal to your charisma modifier minimum of 1 damage and push it up to 10 feet away.
It's the only cool one.
A maximum of 5 damage and move it 10 feet away.
That's the only cool talisman feature.
The only one.
Because the protection of the talisman, just give the boy bless. Like let the cleric bless somebody. Why give him the damn talisman? This is ridiculous. Braxton's dying over there.
Bless.
It's the same thing.
It's so like
a 9th level feature.
Why
how
did they
sad
come up
would that
with
be?
this?
I don't know. It's just the talisman was unnecessary.
Tome Lock is cool now.
Yeah, Tome Lock does have some really nice
you get
stuff
a shitload of cool spells, and Tome Lock is good now. I've had my time, Ryan.
What are your thoughts on Warlock?
They're the best class. I think the spells they gave were needed. They need to just remove the talisman or make it better.
Yeah. I would imagine they would either... I mean, this is playtest, so I'd imagine something will get changed with that guy.
Like, what are they just casting bait out there to see what people say and then make
Maybe.
it actually cool? I still think Tome inherently, like itself, needs a rework. Getting some cantrips.
I
True.
like where they're heading with that, with the writing
Yes.
stuff into it. Because before you could just write spells and stuff. They was too similar to a wizard.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things you could do with a war, like receiving premonitions from your
Yeah.
god, and I mean that can be a lot on the DM. The DM can decide, hey, this book I'm going to use it as a catalyst to have my character interact with their patron. I'm going to have things show up in this book occasionally, and if they decide to read it, maybe they get some.
They
whatever.
might be. Okay, so there's a magical item that I introduced in our last campaign that one of the players had. That is a wizard book from Vecna. You know, the evil lich god guy.
Yes.
And it's almost just like Harry Potter, where it's this book where you can write stuff into it, and Vecna will respond to you and try to influence you to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they're too worried to make the tome too similar to that magical
So you're
item.
gonna make an entire subclass dumb because there's a magic book that is not in the game. It's in the game, but
I think that's why they don't want to have premonitions and stuff talking to it. And also maybe because depending on the patron, it might not even care about you or talk to
in the
you.
same hindsight, there are items out there that allow
Yeah.
you to cast spells outside of your class.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
You can't see, he's doing hand motions.
It's the same thing. So never ever give them the ability to cast that because the spell, or
Yeah.
no, remove that spell from a sorcerer's slot because they can get this item at some point that allows them to cast Fireball. Why should they have Fireball? Because there's an item out here that lets them cast Fireball. It's the same thing. Just because Vecna has this book doesn't mean Warlock can't also have a book that's similar to it.
Yeah.
I get the thought. I
don't know.
But I don't know. It was basically Pact of the Chain or Pact of the Blade before, and now it's maybe slightly.
Tome's got some stuff. Once
Now-
you hit
now it
9th
does.
level.
But you officially have 2 pages in your book.
Yeah.
Officially, there are 2 pages. But we got a little bit more. Wizard. What they
Mhm.
get?
Well, they got the cantrip versatility thing, so they can change their cantrips.
Mhm.
Because the only difference between them and like how the clerics and the druids, not clerics, clerics, have just all the spells. You know, they have every cleric and druid spell. Wizards don't, but they can write it in their book and add it to their list. And then, you know, they can change them constantly if they have extra spells in their list. They just have to keep how many spells how many spells prepared. That's the key thing for them. Here, this allows them to do that with cantrips.
Okay.
So it's a similar thing.
You get spells.
You get some more spells.
Just a little bit.
Expands your spell list.
Augury. Interesting.
Not by many of those, only like a couple.
And
Yeah, augury is a weird one.
It is a weird one. I think they just wanted to have more people be able to use it. And then, I mean, that's it for the wizard. Arguably, they get less than the rogue, I think.
I mean, they're already really good.
Yeah.
And
And
very
fighting
cool.
styles. I mean, I don't know how long we've gone.
About
Right.
an hour.
So we should probably chill it out there. Fighting styles are cool. If you want to check them out, see what they are, go to my tweet. I tweeted a couple of days at Dungeon Crawl Pod on Twitter. Feel free to check that out. We do have an Instagram with the same name.
But the fighting styles, you don't care about them?
We'll run out of time. I got to go to another pre-release at 10.
Yeah,
You
he's
saw
going
how
another.
crowded it
He's
was.
gonna be magicked out.
You saw how crowded it was.
I did see how crowded it
I'm
was.
probably going to get there and not be able to sign up.
Yeah, they were rushing us. We were there like 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
There were people that came in after us. He already said, he was like, I'm gonna have to start shutting it down.
Yeah. So
I can't imagine
How
working
long
at a
does it take to get
store
there?
on days like this.
how long does it take to get there?
Like 40. Oh no. No, it's like a 10-minute drive.
Okay. Yeah. I got to pack my stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm visiting here. My birthday's tomorrow. We're in person right now.
Yeah, but this is, again, as Braxton still can't figure this out, that we post this on a different day than we record it. So his birthday will be a couple days in the past.
Still.
So wish him a
January 18th.
belated birthday.
Thank you. Birthday applause. I'd love it if you send me one. Thanks, Ryan. We'll make it a thing.
But yeah, we're in person and we'll be playing D&D together on Sunday.
If that one guy that was at the card shop that asked about our podcast reads this or listens to this episode,
What's up, dude?
Hey, I'm that guy.
Nice hair.
It was pretty good hair. Take
I
care,
hope you win
guys.
in your pre-release.
I do too. I probably won't make
Not you, the other guy.
Shit. I did
I hope
pretty
you have
okay.
fun and don't die.
Yeah, I do too. Hopefully the AC's still on it because I'll be really.
I honestly, so for me, so this is my first pre-release, guys, and I went 0-2 both games. but I had a fun time.
Yeah. Still fun.
I've only played sealed like 3 or 4 times on arena, usually where I play.
I have to de-sleeve my cards so I can use them again.
Yeah, well, how many? You get a lot of sleeves though, right? You just grab some more.
Yeah, but you get 100, and that's No, I think you get 60 in a pack of sleeves. I'm not sure.
No, there's definitely more because the people next to us were sharing sleeves.
Okay, good.
So technically, we could have shared sleeves and probably just split some money.
I got a lot of pink sleeves, and I'm happy. It's my birthday.
Nothing wrong with pink, man.
Take care, you guys. We've been the Dungeon Crawl. Check us out on iTunes or Spotify. Give us a good rating on wherever you find us. That'd be awesome.
You can only give us a good rating on iTunes, I believe.
Still.
But tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends.
Tell your mom. If you went to
tell your mom,
recently,
man. I'd love to have moms listening to me.
Yeah, maybe you all are moms. Arrivederci.